Hi, Teacher Ashley here, and today I'm going to show you exactly how much that I make with VIPKids, and I wanted to show you how the pay scale will be changing. Let's get started. I have almost been with VIPKids for 2 years. So last year in January 2019 is when I started. I made $104 and taught 6 classes. So in order to get that $104, I wanted to show you on the VIPKids platform how exactly I made that money. So for the first month, I taught 6 classes. Each class was $8 per class per 25 minutes. And with their old incentive program, I made $1 per class, so I made an additional $6. And because I was a new teacher, VIPKids gave me some sign-up incentives and some incentives to just finishing classes. So I made an additional $50 for just starting with VIPKids. So in January of 2019, I made $104. Then on February, I made $27. So if we go here it shows that I taught 3 classes at $8 per class, and they gave me an additional $3 per class, so I made $27 for February. Pretty simple. Then for March through August, I actually quit VIPKids for a little bit, opened and closed all of my bookings, and I went and I hiked the Appalachian Trail for 6 months. I was actually living in Hong Kong during this time, so I left Hong Kong, came back to the U.S., hiked the Appalachian Trail for 6 months, and then restarted VIPKid. I never saw these 9 students ever. So just to let you know, if you start with VIPKids and you leave for a significant amount of time, you probably most likely will not see any of the students that you taught before. So when I came back in September, I made $321 and I taught 32 classes. So if we go over to the VIPKid platform and go to September really quickly here to see if they gave me any additional incentives. So here it shows that I did 32 classes, $8 per each class. Then I gained an additional $32 for participation, $1 per class. And then they have this other incentive here where these are your finished classes. If you teach 1 to 29 classes, you make no additional money. If you teach 30 to 45 classes, you make an additional 50 cents. And if you teach over 45 classes, you make an additional $1. So this month I was only at 32, so I didn't get that additional $1. And oops, looks like I had some additional incentives here. Here there is a time slot incentive. VIP gives incentives all the time. During this particular month, they were struggling to get bookings for students, so they were literally just giving money to teachers to open spots so that students could book them. Now they do not give this incentive anymore. It has gone away. And then let's go to November because the actual scale changes quite a bit. So if we go to November, it shows that I taught 45 classes, which is that mark for that finished class. I got $1 each for participation. And then here, for the finished classes, it shows that since I did $45, I got the $1 per class more. So this month, I ended up making $360, and there were no additional adjustments or incentives on this month. So for the year of 2019, I made $1,932 and taught 189 classes. Not too bad. For 2020, I definitely increased my bookings and opened up my schedule wide open so that I could get as many classes as I could. And I also started to put out my referral links and started to get referrals for teachers, which also I am making quite a bit of money through that, or you can make a lot more money through that. So let's look at January. In January, I made $718 and I taught 60 classes. So if I go here to January, shows that I taught the 60 classes here. But if you'll notice that some of these classes I actually got more than $8. I got $10. So if your student books within 24 hours from the time that you are going to teach the class, you get an additional $2 per class for them basically scheduling late with you. I actually know some teachers that will not open any of their schedule until 24 hours before that so that they always get this short notice bonus. So if I got an additional $2 for every single class, I mean, that's quite a bit of money if you were to do that. The thing is at my Turton State and VIPKid, I do not think that I would be able to do that. I would not be able to close all of my slots and open them up 24 hours beforehand and actually guarantee that all my classes get booked. So at this time, I just open my classes like normal and have my students schedule things like normal. And I do have quite a few regular students because of that. So here, and then I also wanted to show this really exciting adjustment here that shows, obviously I got the $1 for 60 for the finished classes, but then I put a referral link out and I had my first teacher teach their first class, so I got an additional $100 for that teacher, which was quite a bit more, really, if you think about it. $100 for doing nothing. I mean, if you wanted to make $100 at VIPKids, you'd have to teach 11 classes, right? So that's pretty good for me, or I think that's really good. Those extra referrals really make a difference. So total for 2020, I have made $5,695.71 teaching 537 classes with 3 referrals. Next, I just wanted to give you a quick breakdown of the old payment versus the new payment, and I did it for my January classes as well as the August classes for this month. So here's the difference. So at VIPKid, you have a base rate from $7 to $9. My base rate is $8, and unfortunately, there will probably be no way that I'm going to be able to increase my base rate because it's virtually impossible. You have to teach gobs of classes and have perfect feedback in order to get an increase for your pay. So as long as I live, I don't think I'm ever going to get past this $8 payment. So here we go, old payment. So you have the participation payment for $1, which I taught 60 classes, which gives me additional $60. And then the finished class incentives. Since I taught 45 or more classes, I get $1 per class, which gives me an additional $60. And I had that referral that month, which that gives me $100 for. So for the incentives for January, I made $220 extra. If I add that to my base pay of $480, that gives me a total of $700. If I do this same payment on the new pay scale, and let's talk about the new pay scale. So I'm going to bring up this nifty chart here. This is the VIPKid tier payment. This is their new thing that's supposed to start this month. And if I was actually on this, I would be in tier 4 right here, where if you go to your VIPKid classes and you go to your My Kid, it shows you how many classes that you have taught. I have taught 697 classes, which puts me into this tier. So for each section, each 20 classes, the tier increases by a couple, like by 20 cents. So the way that it works is for your first 20 classes, you get 80 cents. So that would be $16 for me. For your next 20 classes, you get $1.20, which is $24. And then for the next one, you get $1.60, which is $32. So for me, my incentives for this month was $72 plus the referral, which equals $172, plus my base rate gives me $652. If you've noticed, that is a $48 difference that VIPKids is basically just taking from me and not giving my money. What a bummer, right? So with this new pay scale, about each month I lose about $50. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more, but definitely I'm not making as much as I used to make. I also did another quick example with August. I'm halfway through August. I haven't finished my August classes yet, but I just want to show you the difference. So with 34 classes, on the normal old payment, it would be $34 for participation, $17 for that finished class because I'm at that $half, that 50 cents per class. I didn't have any referrals for this month, which brings me to $51. Plus my base rate, I'm at $323. With the new pay scale, since I only did 34, I just get those first two scales, which gives me, this is very wrong right here, which is $32.80, which I have here, plus my incentive gives me $304.80, a difference of $18.20 that I am losing because VIP Kid just needs to make more money apparently. So this is the difference between the old payment and the new payment. Definitely a bummer for me. I'm definitely going to be losing money, but there's really not a lot I can do. The last thing that I wanted to show is that I thought that the pay scale was going to be changing for this particular month, for August. I thought that I would see a difference here. But if you see my VIP Kid platform, it's the same. So it shows that I did 34 classes at $8 per class, and that I still have the dollar participation plus the incentives for how many classes I've taught. So as soon as I get to the 45 classes, it should go to $1. So now I'm still getting that additional $2 per class instead of that tier scale. So right now I'm making what I would have made last month. So I'm very, very curious to see if this is going to change for September and I'm actually going to get put on this tier 4 scale, which will be very disappointing. The last thing that I wanted to mention just really quickly that I've learned from a different teacher is the break-even point. So if you are a teacher and you're currently with VIP Kids and you're like, oh my God, how many classes do I need to take to make a break even? To break even of what I was making last month. It's almost ridiculous. So if you are on tier 1, you need to teach 790 classes per month in order to be on that break even point. So for me, I'm in tier 4. So I need to teach 238 classes in order to break even, and that's with like basically 238 classes, which is over this, so it would be like $260 per class, which you're like, whoa, that's so much, but that's only for those last classes, right? So if we go here, I just want to go back to this one really quick. If you've noticed here on all of my classes taught, I have never taught over 84 classes. So getting to this break-even point of 238 classes is ridiculous. I am never going to make it. I am never going to make as much money with VIP Kids as I was making before. So this tier break-even scale is kind of disappointing, but just to show you where you need to be if you are trying to make the same pay rate as you were making before. Personally, 238 classes sounds like a ridiculously amount, and I normally get burnt out after 60 classes. I try to do about 20 per week. So thanks so much for coming and listening to how much that I make at VIP Kids. And if there's anything that I can help you with, or if you have any additional questions about the payment, please feel free to put it in the comments. I would love to help you out. Also, if you're interested in being a VIP Kid teacher, please let me know. I would love to help you through the process. You can click my link below. Just message me and we'll get started together. Thanks so much. Thank you for watching. Bye.